How did you get that footage of Diddy?
I figure most journalists would not disclose their sources.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. My favorite villain? I kind of like Diddy.
There are no misconceptions about me. I ain't never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
He told me to take me shopping. I looked at him like, what you just say?
This is a tight one. And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show.
Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he?
You guys don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
We ain't baby all close.
Nah, you stupid.
But, yo, look, Puff is...
Nah. You working with Pac?
Puff for 30 years.
You saw Big before he passed?
Yeah.
Bro, so you're close. And Jack, what were you saying?
In the documentary, there was insinuations of, that Diddy possibly had something to do with both Tupac and Biggie. And,
Who's telling the story, right? You can skew...
People very close to the situation.
But you can create narrative.
Woke up, I look at the computer say, Floyd said, T.I. Nelly fuck 50. I'm like, what did he say for? Nelly your first baby mama, Melissa, then took your fiance. Say fuck that.
People would think it would be unethical, especially if you've been accused of such things, to be the person blowing the whistle on other people being accused of such things. 50 don't give up. Okay? He don't give up. He posted the Netflix thing. He said #1 in 36 countries and 11 others still going up. Okay? Now, here it is. 50 is now posted a picture, and an edited picture of that. A picture that someone drew of Jay-Z.
50 Cent's and Diddy's documentary didn't just release. It sent shockwaves across the streaming world. Within days, it climbed the charts, surprising music, even the biggest names in the industry. Many viewers tuned in out of curiosity or controversy, but what they discovered went far deeper. Sharp, deliberate storytelling that felt less like entertainment and more like revelation. Just as the initial buzz began to fade, unsettling rumors started to surface. Talks of a second season are gaining momentum, and the tone appears to be darker, bolder, and far more intense. Online whispers suggest the story could expand on a much larger scale, with rumored connections to Jay-Z quietly stirring tension throughout the culture. If these reports are true, the next chapter wouldn't simply continue the narrative. It could reopen stories many believed were buried long ago. Jay-Z may be only one piece of a much bigger picture. Speculation hints that several influential figures could be drawn into the spotlight, connected by power, rivalry, and unresolved histories. The growing silence surrounding it all feels less accidental and more deliberately calculated.
And just to kind of like roll off of what 50 was saying, I did not believe that I did not believe that it was going to be this crazy, but he's been the biggest champion of it. And so I think the goal was, the original conversation that 50 and I had in sitting down and talking about it, in the wake of Cassie filing her lawsuit, which is when we kind of had our first conversation, right then, was understanding that there were a lot of rumors in the industry. There was a lot of talk about, some of this bad behavior. I think Cassie's lawsuit, the level of detail that, getting underneath the hood and seeing the level of detail that she brought forward was really a lot to digest. And I think that both 50 and I were really interested in the nuances of tackling a story like this, like kind of understanding, where does the role of victim, begin and end versus like being a perpetrator, and kind of understanding cycles of of violence and these kind of reoccurring patterns, and just seeing how complex the story was, and that no one was really treating it like that. Everyone was just very focused on salacious headlines and like with no context, you know. And so I think for us, we wanted to put that care into the story.
But they did characterize it as a hit piece in the very beginning. It's because they didn't get a chance to watch it, you know, when they were saying that. And then after they see it, you see everyone's changed their mind, and it becomes the number one dog.
But also, someone calling it a hit piece was a statement from Diddy's team. So, I mean, what's your response to Diddy's team? Of course, they're going to probably have an opinion. And then what's your opinion on people that just say that you're petty? Are you petty?
I accept that. I'll take that. I'll wear that. I'm fine. You know, like I have antics that I've become comfortable with on social media because of the usage of social media. That's just that. You know what I mean? Like, but when they look at, they'll say me deciding to go on ABC is petty. The morning show is the biggest show. These people, they came. It's a great opportunity to be on that actual platform, but they looked at it further and said it's airing in prison, so this would be why I would like to do that. And it didn't come across as a reason not to. Of course, I was aware that it would be airing.
And for both of you, one of the other questions fans are asking is, you know, there are a lot of great and powerful interviews in this, but where are A-list celebrities? Where are people in his orbit that remain silent? Like, they've never really even spoken out against the allegations or anything that's going on. Are people just concerned about their careers? Are they afraid to speak out? Because I remember Harvey Weinstein, right away everyone was like piling on and talking. Why is everyone afraid to say anything about Diddy?
It's a part of the hip hop culture. Like, they think that they are telling something. Or just mind your business type of thing. Like, so if there's no, other than that, you would look, if I wasn't saying the things that you heard me say, there would be nothing being said at all. So it'd just be, you would assume that the culture is for those behaviors.
As the buzz around season 2 continued to grow, Marlon Wayans unexpectedly stepped into the conversation. In a recent interview, he urged caution regarding 50 Cent's documentary, Music, highlighting the long and deeply personal feud between 50 Cent and Diddy. He also raised questions about how documentaries can shape public narratives and influence perception. His remarks, centered on intent and accountability, quickly caught attention and sparked debate online. 50 Cent responded almost instantly using memes and sharp digital jabs to push back. What began as a single opinion soon turned into a public exchange, keeping their underlying tension in the spotlight and fueling even more conversation across social media.
Time for a social media beef with 50 Cent. What was it like in the family chat? Well, brothers, they were funny. Damon was like, why you pick the biggest brother? He's on gamma rays. Stick to beefing with Soulja Boy, Kevin Hart, people that we can beat. You fight him. Leave guys that got shot 9 times alone. He survived 9. And so I backed out. I just said his name. They asked me about the documentary. I was like, I didn't see it. And then they asked me about it, and I just gave my opinion. I was just like, I don't think brothers need to be quarreling in public like that. And then what I get into? A public quarrel with a brother. And I just think it was bad for the culture. And so I kind of backed out. I don't even say that name anymore. If you ask me, hey, you got change of $1? I need a half $1. So you need a half $1.
All right. So I'm going to make it abundantly clear. I'm not here defending Diddy. I am here because I got dragged into this because somebody asked me a question and I had an opinion. Nobody's wrong for giving an opinion about any subject, period. I'm not here defending Diddy. Don't let the narrative fool you or get to you. Once again, somebody's creating narratives. This is my point. So please look at the whole clip that I did and then look what happens with the narrative. And that's what I'm telling you. Y'all people don't be sheep. Use your brain, use your freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and don't ever let nobody bully you. Never. Don't let nobody bully you. You got me? Love. Now back to trolling this troll.
What makes this clash so compelling isn't just the star power, it's the timing. The tension erupted precisely as the documentary debate hit its peak, transforming a single comment into days of viral memes, online mockery, and relentless digital sparring. Marlon Wayans has repeatedly clarified that his words weren't about defending Diddy or taking sides, but about fairness, intent, and the way narratives are constructed. Yet to 50 Cent and to fans watching the drama unfold, those remarks landed differently. They felt personal. 50 Cent's reaction made one thing clear: Marlon Wayans is no longer just a commentator on the moment. Whether he intended it or not, he is now part of the story itself.
You think about the back and forth between 50 and Marlon Wayans.
With him and Marlon Wayans, I don't understand, Marlon got his own opinion, just like everybody got an asshole. He got his own opinion too. You know what I'm saying? And he's going to say whatever he wants to say. But, when you know somebody is going to war or don't like somebody or somebody got a beef with somebody, unless you want to be a part of that beef or take a part of that, why you going to get involved in it? You understand? Keep your opinion to yourself. If you know those two people got a beef and you got a voice out here. Marlon got a voice because he comes from that family that has done a crazy, comedy shows and things for our community as far as being the elites of the comedy world and then of the movie world. And he comes from that family, bro. So, you putting his voice and saying that 50 is doing something wrong and stuff like that. People can't tell people what to do and how to do with their lives and with their time and everything like that. And if he's going against Puff and he's putting stuff out there, that's his business. That's him and Puff's business. You understand? Like people try to say I'm doing something wrong. That's me and Puff's business. You understand? No, but it's all right for him to send dudes to try to do something to me. It's all right for him to send people or get them information so I can lose my job. It's all right for them to do what they do. You understand? But when they see somebody like me or doing it back or saying something, I gotta be some broke this, I gotta be some jealous this, I gotta be some hating ass and stuff like that. No, this is war. You understand? I might not have the ammunition he have. I might not have the people that he have. So for Marlon Wayans to go at 50 like that, both of them got money. You know what I'm saying? Both of them got, their own peace of mind. You know what I'm saying? But for Marlon to put out a clip that is an AI generated clip against 50, that's something whole different, bro. That's something whole, and I see that's happening right now. They got a clip of me holding a picture of Diddy and I think it's 50 or somebody in the bed together. You understand? I ain't never had that picture right there. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen that. That's a lie. But they're allowing that like that to come on the internet. You know what I'm saying? They're allowing people, to cut and paste and put stuff out there and make people seem like, they are some kind of fanoid, some homosexual ass whatever. And I know you can't say that on a thing, but that's what it is, bro. And I just hate that they are allowed and they can't be sued for doing stuff like that, man. And that's what, if you're gonna do anything, you should be able to sue somebody to be doing stuff like that. For him to put 50 in the hot tub with Puff or get that picture when he knows it's an AI generated picture, that was low. That was real low. But he said, so since 50 trolling, I'm a troll. So have that same energy when you see that man. Keep trolling when you see that man. And that's what I gotta say about that one. My whole thing about it is, bro, people going around saying, but Diddy's in jail. And him being in jail don't bring back none of the people that died, not only on his watch, on his making. It don't bring back Big. You know what I'm saying? I heard one journalist talk about, Suge Knight is the one who, Big and set Big up and everything like that. So let me ask you something. Suge Knight was working in accordance with Puff to get big out of California. He was working with Puff to keep Big from going to London. Suge Knight was working with Puff to do that? I don't think so. I heard Puff tell Kirk Burroughs on that Thursday, yo, Big ain't going nowhere. You could go by yourself, but Big ain't going nowhere. You know what? When you look at things and they see things, you know that facts will change your feel.
Next in line is Jay-Z Music, and his name feels less like a shock and more like an inevitability. If anyone was expected to emerge after Diddy, especially with 50 Cent's momentum accelerating, it was him. Their paths have run side by side for decades within the music industry, shaped by alliances, quiet rivalries, and tensions that never completely disappeared. Now with Shawk's Music, The Reckoning driving relentless speculation, fans are beginning to wonder whether Jay-Z's story is slowly moving toward the spotlight. Nothing has been confirmed, yet the silence combined with the timing feels too precise to ignore, and music it is that uncertainty that is making the atmosphere increasingly uneasy.
Was they really friends of them?
How close was Diddy and Jay-Z? They was close enough that they wasn't playing basketball, they wasn't playing baseball, they wasn't playing football, and they wasn't playing hockey or soccer for Diddy to come on stage, pat him on his ass, and then make the statement to people in the world that can't nobody call me Sean but Jay-Z. Now, I don't know what kind of statement, and I can't say, I wish I could say half a homo, but I know I can't say it, but I don't know what kind of half a homo that is, and you trying to say that you're not close to somebody. You coming on stage, patting them on their ass, and then you making a broad statement to the public, can't nobody call me Sean but Sean Carter. And I heard Jay-Z said the same thing about them. But they were so close that they had matching white girls together. Because when they used to see each other, they used to say, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? He'd be like, yo, how your skinny white girl doing? So, I guess that's a certain type.
50 Cent has only intensified the speculation through subtle yet deliberate activity on Instagram. A post that appeared to feature Jay-Z quickly caught the attention of fans, many of whom interpreted it as intentionally provocative. The response was immediate. Comment sections filled with predictions about the so-called Jay-Z files, with some suggesting that a full season or special project could already be taking shape. Rather than shutting down the conversation, 50 Cent quietly fueled the momentum by engaging with comments that supported the theory, pushing the rumor cycle even further. Considering Jay-Z's decades-long influence, his vast business empire, and his well-known connections within the industry, the idea of him becoming a central focus is compelling enough to draw significant attention on its own. His continued silence has done little to calm the speculation. If anything, it has amplified it. For many observers, Jay-Z's potential role in whatever comes next is starting to feel less like a possibility and more like an expectation.
Now, a lot of people think it's unethical for a rapper to be blowing the whistle on another rapper, given the fact that many rappers do the same things. Now, maybe not Diddy things, but like, you know, I keep telling you, I know many rappers who they do domestically assault their woman. They have put their hands on their woman. They have beat their woman before. They have a domestic case. People would think it would be unethical, especially if you've been accused of such things, to be the person blowing the whistle on other people being accused of such things. 50 don't give a okay? He don't give a. He posted the Netflix thing. He said #1 in 36 countries and 11 others still going up. Okay? Now, here it is. 50 is now posted a picture, an edited picture of that. A picture that someone drew of Jay-Z. And 50 said, please stop sending me stuff like this. I'm not going to post it. But of course, he's being facetious because he posted the picture that he claimed he wouldn't post. Now, that's not the interesting part, y'all. The interesting part is when you look at it, 50 was in the comments here And he was liking posts. You can't see what the author, which will be 50, likes. But 50, and I guess I could post it on, give me a sec. I could post it on our burner page. Wait, what? Wait. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Every time I open my phone, I see like a million different things. Anyway, because I don't want to slow the stream now. 50 is liking these comments, and these comments are saying, yo, do the documentary on Jay-Z next, right? Oh, actually, people posted on Twitter. So they're actually saying, and they're encouraging, and 50's liking it. Here we go. So 50 Cent liking a comments hinting Jay-Z's next. Somebody says, my only question. He's next, isn't he? 50 liked it.
Another name generating buzz around season 2 is Rick Ross, and this isn't idle speculation. The tension between Rick Ross and 50 Cent remains one of hip-hop's longest and most infamous rivalries, tracing back to the late 2000s. What started as subtle lyrical shots and direct diss records quickly escalated into public confrontations, pointed interview remarks, and social media clashes that fans still remember clearly. More recently, the rivalry reignited when 50 Cent openly questioned Rick Ross's tour presence and current relevance, pulling their long-standing conflict back into the spotlight.
Guys, I just saw a very unfortunate situation that took place in Canada, and I wanted to say to everyone, that I hope that brother made it home safely. I hope that he now has a different perspective and a better sense of what to do and what not to do while you're out in the world. That part where the young guy was like, he did this little move and shit and got knocked the fuck out, like right there. That does not reflect him. That reflects his camp. And he might need to go get the Dream Chasers or the 305 Killers.
Fourth on the list is Janice Combs, a name that rarely dominates headlines but could become central if season 2 chooses to examine the foundations of Diddy's early life. As his mother, Janice raised Sean Combs largely on her own following his father's early death, working multiple jobs to create stability and opportunity. Often described as the backbone of his upbringing, she built his early years around discipline, structure, and consistent support. A former model and school aide, her influence shaped the environment in which he developed his ambitions. Janice has publicly challenged how the documentary portrays Diddy's childhood, arguing that it misrepresents her role as a parent and overlooks the foundation she worked to provide. Her response has reignited debate, with some former acquaintances offering differing recollections of the family's circumstances. If the series explores those formative years in greater detail, her perspective, and the disagreement over how that period is depicted, could emerge as one of the most revealing and contested threads, potentially reshaping how viewers interpret the origins of a complex and highly influential public figure.
Already said that I believe that he was victimized, and I think it happened long before the industry. People really don't want to look closer into his childhood and to what his mama had going on in that house. God knows what he saw and what happened to him in his own mama house. All of those strangers, them up involved, looking around, seeing what was going on. And let's just be clear, it sounds like her house was a house of, professional freak-offs. So who knows what he saw or what could have happened to him while she was busy entertaining people and pouring and getting tips, as she would say, for her after-hour life.
Oh yeah. He was. I'm gonna say he was surprised to hear that.
School bus driver. No, was he surprised or was he like, zip it, you talking too much? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like you talking a little bit too much. They don't need to know about that. While she was sitting there, oh, because I was a bus driver and I was this, and I worked at the after hours. And I would pour them drinks and they would give me big tips.
She didn't say it just like that. Big tips. You know, in
big tip and spending cheese.
In Sean's own words, in Diddy's own words, he had said he had a sigh of relief learning that he was the son of a hustler or a gangster. Like he wanted that status. He wanted to say that he was a sigh of relief is a wild thing to say, that your daddy was a gangster or a hustler. That's what you heard that he was.
Well, I mean, like Tim said, they had a bunch of blaxploitation movies being played around the house all the time. They grew up with the Mac playing. They grew up with Superfly playing. Like, I mean, if that's what you got going on, you got two women in the house and there's no men around, and these are what the little boys are watching. You got basketball players coming over late at night. You got hustlers coming over, PIMPs coming over, women who look like they were modeling for Jet Magazine coming over. Like, it sounds like the nature of the environment is what shaped their perception of what cool.
Another name quietly circulating in discussions about Season 2 is Ray J, an unexpected yet seemingly deliberate addition. While he is not typically viewed as one of hip-hop's primary power figures, Ray J carries a history of viral moments and lingering tensions that 50 Cent has not completely overlooked. Their connection traces back to a well-known backstage incident years earlier, when Ray J confronted Fabulous at a Las Vegas event, a moment 50 Cent later revisited with sharp humor, emphasizing how the situation quickly dissolved while Fabulous proceeded with his performance unaffected. More recently, 50 Cent has continued to keep Ray J within his digital spotlight, reposting clips from various media appearances and framing them with subtle mockery. As speculation grows around a deeper and more intense second season, some fans are beginning to question whether Ray J's past controversies and highly public persona could position him for a larger and potentially more uncomfortable role within the evolving narrative.
Now, as a journalist, you heard me say what I said, and that's kind of what cranked this whole thing up. But then fast forward to the documentary. Saying that they was getting their ass taken, bro. Say that multiple times. You worried about me cheating? What kept partying? Not to. You owe you some money? I mean, yo, what the f is going on in this world, bro? You said I woke up with females in the bed. Then I woke up and Diddy was in the bed. What was Diddy doing in the bed, bro? Ooh, man, I went and took a and my coming out way more runnier. I'm feeling sore around the rear end area. Okay, I got you. So I know what happened. I've been taken, and now I'm still here partying, acting like nothing's ever.
Another figure drawing attention around Season 2 is Stevie J, and this focus isn't rooted in old rivalries, but in loyalty under pressure. As a longtime Bad Boy insider and respected producer, Stevie J stepped forward during the fallout surrounding Sean Combs, The Reckoning, publicly declaring that he would stand by Diddy without hesitation. That statement quickly ignited conversation online, not only because of what was said, but because of the intensity behind it. For many observers, it felt less like routine support and more like a clear line being drawn. 50 Cent, known for seizing moments like these, soon folded Stevie J's stance into his ongoing commentary, using sharp humor and social media jabs to keep the exchange visible. As discussion around the documentary continues to grow more serious, Stevie J's unwavering loyalty has quietly placed him under a brighter spotlight, raising difficult questions about how far allegiance can extend when scrutiny intensifies.
Curtis, what's good, man? You and your feelings about Daphne? Is she with gang them? Or is it that you sucking little Rod dick? However it go, I want you to fade. All that. Since it's entertainment, let me beat the shit out of you on TV or something. Don't duck that. I'm calling you out. What you want to do, Curtis? Curtis!
I'm stuck to myself. I ain't with it. That's all you gotta do. That's all I gotta do. Think somebody want to fight me? My shit up. My shit up. Come on. I hope you get past this.
Closing out the rumored list for Season 2 is Floyd Mayweather, a name that fits seamlessly given his long and complicated history with 50 Cent. What once looked like a genuine friendship built on mutual respect, shared success, and public admiration gradually unraveled under the weight of business disputes, clashing personalities, and competing egos. As financial negotiations and branding ambitions collided, private disagreements spilled into the public arena. Both men exchanged sharp online remarks, openly questioning each other's loyalty and judgment. Unlike 50 Cent's music-driven rivalries, this fallout cuts deeper, striking at wealth, influence, and pride at the highest level. That's what makes Mayweather's potential inclusion so compelling. This isn't about surface-level entertainment drama. It's about power, legacy, and what happens when two dominant figures refuse to step back. You know what's crazy? This might only be the beginning.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my business worried about what I'm doing. What Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got. Just know, I'm gonna stay in my lane, I ain't gonna with nobody, and I don't want nobody with me. If I go on vacation, my fault. When I go on vacation for 30 days, I take 30 watches with me. But you know what? You know what? What's crazy is this. If we add 10 more days, I take 10 more watches. But then I say, if I want to bring out the one and only, then I bring out the watch that costs 18 million. Matter of fact, you know what I'm gonna do for you haters today? I'm gonna go for $50,000 because I ain't got shit else to do. Money made all motherfucking day.
This is a special ASLELS challenge for you, Floyd. If you can read one full page of a Harry Potter book, nigga, I'll give $750,000 to whatever charitable organization you want to.
So what's the real story? Is 50 Cent preparing to pull back another layer of the industry in Season 2, or is this merely the opening act of something far larger? Could these 7 names be just the beginning of a much deeper, more intricate narrative? Share your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss what comes next. Until then, stay sharp, stay tuned, and stay locked. Musical note.